Hey there, I'm about to bring in Daphne. Let me see how to do this. I should have figured out how to do this before. Let's see, invite to join. I am chatting with Daphne here in a second. She's got the invite. Let's see if she joins. Hello, hello.
Hi.
How
Of
are
course, I'm sitting
you?
here like, what am I doing?
Oh my gosh,
How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for spending your lunch break chatting with me, one of the many fans of Beyond the
You're
Gates.
welcome. No, I love all of your tea, so
Well,
I
I'm
definitely had
actually
to
getting
support you.
tea from someone beyond the gates. So how has the reception been for you? Like someone who's not new to this, I think it's really fascinating that everyone finds these old clips and they post them, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize she did the Steve Harvey show and she was on Passion. So how does it feel to like be here and in this moment?
Well, I will tell you, as an artist in general, right? Not just an actor. And because you play music, right? It's a roller coaster ride, right? Like, you don't necessarily know where your next job is around the corner.
Yeah.
And there can be some lulls. So even though I've been doing this for 27 years, and that sounds crazy to me, looking back at some of my things, I'm like, oh my God, I was a baby. I've literally grown up on television, but
Yeah.
living it, I didn't necessarily feel like that. When I see posts, people's clips, I'm like, oh my God, I was a baby. Oh my God, I was a baby. So being in this moment in particular at almost 50 years old and having a show like this that's being so well received, and pushed the way CBS is pushing it, Paramount Plus is pushing it, especially for a daytime show. You don't see that for daytime television. Is pretty incredible. Yeah.
And I was reading something, and it said basically that Black women still watch soap operas in disproportionate amounts of numbers. So it's awesome that CBS is pushing it, but like, there's a reason why like our community still watches soap operas. You know?
You know what? But I think it's all communities, right? Because I, with this show, when white people come up to me and tell me how much they love it, I'm like, oh, like I'm actually kind of surprised, right? Because I'm like, oh, you're watching a black show, yay!
Yes,
But if it's a good show, it's a good show. If it's great acting, it's great acting. If it's great writing, it's great writing. Like, why would you not support just because of the color of the skin of the majority of the cast?
exactly. So I know that you all are what, like 60 episodes ahead filming wise, but
Yeah.
right now for you, like how excited are you to see Nicole take center stage in all this drama that's unfolding?
I loved when those episodes finally aired. The breakdown of the marriage. There was such a buildup for it. And it was finally the opportunity for my character to be able to have some fun, or me as an actor have fun with my character. Right? You're peeling the onion, there's layers, there's levels, right? And I'm enjoying playing this role so much. And I can't wait to see what continues to unfold, right? Like, obviously, yes, we know we're 60 plus episodes ahead of you guys. But every time I get those scripts, I'm like, ooh, yay, more to do, more to play with, more. Yeah. And, I keep saying, I'm like, I feel like the first 30 episodes were the warm up, right? And now we're in the thick of this show, and everything's just, to me, as an audience, as a viewer, not an actor, it's just gotten so much better.
And you mentioned people are coming up to you and saying they love this show. Like, did you expect that? Like, did you think it's 2025? Are people going to be watching a soap opera at 2 p.m. every day?
I definitely expected soap fans to enjoy it. But, when I did soaps in the past, there was no streaming, right? So if you missed it, you missed it. And, like a lot of my friends who have jobs, they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, I don't expect you to be watching daytime television. But because there is Paramount Plus now, right? Our audience is so much bigger, and now there are no excuses.
Exactly. Exactly. You can watch it on CB like I do.
Right,
I watch it on
exactly.
Paramount Plus.
Right.
Um, so I mentioned the storyline with Nicole, but like, what is your take on what's happening now in Fairmont Crest? I mean, do you think Ted is coming off too hot? As in, like, okay, dude, she just found out the relationship she was in isn't the relationship she was in, and you're asking for forgiveness in a year?
Right. And even before a year, he's right. Like he's like, we're getting back together. We'll be celebrating this in a year. Um, he's fighting for his marriage. For him, the implosion, like he hid this secret for so long, and there is no change necessarily for him outside of her finding out, right? Because he always knew. Granted, he didn't know he had a child and he's dealing with that. But where I'm at headspace and where he's at headspace are two completely different places. So for him, it's just no, save, save, save. And for me, it's whoa, I'm processing. Whoa, like my entire world is upside down. Everything I thought I knew and believed is not real. And yes, there's just this one thing, but is it just this one thing? Right? Like, right. So
Right.
there's always going to be those questions. For him, he knows it was just that one thing. So,
I feel like Maurice got off easy. He gets to throw the Molotov cocktail, and now he's no longer Ted.
right. Well, I don't know if he necessarily sees it that way, but
Well, I've asked him to come on here as well because a lot of
yeah.
folks want to know what's going on. But
Yeah,
how has it been?
absolutely. I tried to get him on when I did my live with Trish, and me being it's tech not tech savvy, and we couldn't figure it out.
You
I'm saying
know,
it was an app problem, not a me problem, though.
yeah, yeah. How has it been working with the new Ted? I mean, he's been on for you've been working with him for quite some time, obviously.
Yeah,
So
we've been
how?
working together now for a few months, and I've known Keith honestly for over 20 years. So it was definitely an easy transition for me because I knew him already. But he stepped in and he did what he needed to do, and it's been the flow has been amazing. So I think people are going to enjoy it. And I loved the post that he did yesterday. I didn't even think about if I were to be somebody who came in, and took on a role that was already established. But he was like, for the people that are mourning, and but please let me earn your love. And I was like, oh my God, that is a great way of putting it, because people are invested already in, the older or old Maurice, old Ted. um, and so I do hope that the fans, are able to transition the way that we transition.
And earlier this week, we heard about the renewal. So, how did you find out
Mhm.
about it? I mean, I'm assuming you all were on set. Like,
Yes.
did they wait until the 50th episode for the renewal to come
No,
out, or was it just a
and I
coincidence?
don't know what they were waiting for because, of course, talking to our EP, shortly after, she was like, she obviously knew. I don't know how long she knew before they let us know. But it was funny because Carl and I, and honestly, we knew like Bold had been renewed, Young and the Restless had been renewed. We're like, all right, any day now, come on. And a lot of us are transplants, right? We are commuting, so it's like, am I here? Did I buy a house 6 months too early?
Yeah,
Right. Although for me, buying my place here, I knew there's so much that shoots in Atlanta that I'm like, well, God forbid we don't get picked up. There's always going to be work here. So, but yeah, so because they stopped us about 10 minutes early while we were doing our scenes before lunch. And, they call everybody over. And what we didn't know, the people working, is the people that weren't working were told, hey, you have an HR meeting. You have to be here at, whatever time it was. Right,
yeah.
exactly. And then they start rolling in, and half the other people are like, why are you here? They're like, an HR meeting. We're like, we didn't get an HR meeting. What'd you do? So Carla and I immediately were like, oh my God, they're going to tell us, they're going to tell us. Well, as we're approaching where everybody was, congregating, Julie Carruthers, our executive producer's boots on the ground, we say something to her knowing like we're like two little kids in a candy store, and there was a crack. I can't even remember what she said, but there was a crack in her voice, and it was almost like she was tearing up, and I was like, whoa, I don't know how to read that. That might be bad news. And Carl felt exactly the same way. So we're both like, which was great because it gave us that moment of, yay, right?
You're right.
And the minute that Sheila Ducksworth and George Cheeks came out, the minute they came, we're like, they're not flying in to tell us
Right.
we're canceled. So I was in tears. Yeah.
Yeah. And so whenever people see this, what do you want them to learn? Like, what message do you hope this live like gives to people, conveys to them?
This live or the show?
This live, like the things
Oh,
that we've talked about, but also the show, if you want to throw that in there as
well,
well.
I mean, I think, the show definitely deserves a chance for people who aren't normal daytime soap watchers. I think obviously, there's a format to soaps that's different than nighttime shows, but I think we stand strong, right? Like the lineup, you could put us up against anybody. The way it's shot is just a little bit different, but the acting's amazing, the writing's amazing, how they're shooting it is amazing. So I really hope that people are like, you know what, let me give this a shot. Let me see. Let me see. And then, make the judgment call for themselves. As far as the show, like watching yesterday's episode, I came into hair and makeup this morning and I was like, who's completely caught up? I'm like, because yesterday's episode, and every episode, and that's the thing, like every episode, I'm like, oh my God, they killed it. But like all of those scenes with Anita and Vernon, like, oh my God, I love them. Yeah, that family dynamic that I think is not necessarily lost, but you don't see a lot of it, especially in Black television, right? Every now and then you do, like the Blackish. I think they did a really great job of
Right.
a healthy family dynamic. You see Black love and Black excellence, and right, they've got great jobs and great kids, and we need more of that, right? And I think we represent that really well.
And I think this is like the perfect show for 2025 because clearly people still want soap operas and they want to see these stories. And like you said earlier, like it doesn't matter if they're Black or they're white or they're Latino or whatever, people are
Whatever.
watching and it's people from
Right.
all backgrounds. And is there anything else that I haven't asked that you think that fans would want to know? I know a few people are watching in and out in the chat. Do you all
Are
have any
there any
questions?
questions? I was going to say, are
Let
there any questions?
me
I'm
scroll.
not wearing my glasses, so I can't even see.
Let's see. We know what's up with Mo, aka okay, Maurice. No. Any questions? Um, I do see people mentioning Tide and Febreze. I know the history behind it, but please, you know the history. Walk
Okay.
us through
And
what.
so, right. And so, what most people don't know is Procter and Gamble actually started soap operas. Like the genre of soap operas was started by Procter and Gamble. It was on radio first. Soaps started on radio. You could only listen to it, and then it transitioned over to television. But they are the creator of soaps, and they are backing us. They are our backers. NAACP, Procter and Gamble, CBS, Paramount Plus. So yeah, I get the product placement. But I also get the fans where it's like, okay, that's just a little too obvious. When Martin storms in and is completely losing his mind and there's a giant Tide bottle right before his face. I get it. They could have been a little more subtle and thrown it in the back.
um,
But
are you
they
actually
are they are paying our bills. They are paying the paychecks. So I'm not mad at product
are
placement.
you actually spraying real Febreze because you're
Oh yeah.
spraying a lot?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, that is a lot. Like I'm like, okay, I know it smells really good, but come on. But you know what? They're paying your bills. Your house in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
exactly. Yeah,
There you
they're
go.
taking.
And if
At
it
a point in my career, I 70 national commercials, so I am all about selling products.
exactly. I think Lauren said, isn't she the face of? When is she going to be the face of Febreze? Already
That's
is.
what I'm
Already is.
asking. That is what I'm asking. I'm like, come on, guys, come on, let's move a little faster here. There's no reason why I don't have a
A
Febreze
sponsorship
commercial.
on your
Right,
Instagram.
exactly.
I know we've been weaving in and out, but what do you make? This is my question. What do you make of Danny lying about Andre as Nicole was dealing with so much betrayal, like and questioning what she thinks or knows to be true?
It's just another layer of the show, right? And storytelling. If it came really quickly, where do you get to go? Where do you get to go play, right? So like now she's obviously had a complete meltdown. Her marriage is over. Who she is, she's still trying to figure that out because she's been a mom and a wife. Now it's okay, well, let me enjoy a little bit of my freedom. Let me have some fun. I don't want to define it. I don't want to explain it. That is fair, right?
Right.
So, and then obviously as writers and actors, we get to play a little bit more.
A question just came in from Thespian Auntie. What's the most challenging part of your role?
Oh, I think for any actor, when you have to go real deep, right? You dig real deep, like those scenes where the anniversary party and the implosion of the marriage. I was in that for 2 weeks, and it was heavy, and it was right, like you. I always say those actors that stay in those roles, like you hear about for like 2-3 months while they're shooting a movie. I'm like, I would go crazy if I did that. I
Right.
couldn't do that. So to have to keep coming in and out and in and out, and during that like 2 weeks, we jumped ahead to Kat's birthday party. And I remember that day because I was like, oh my God, thank God I'm light today. Like I don't have a headache. Like I physically had a headache on set for days because I was just living in that place.
Do you have any personal, and you don't have to answer this, but like, is there any personal experience you brought to that role, or is your life totally different from that? And personal could be not just you, but
Yeah,
like people you know,
no,
because
I mean, yeah, I think whether it happened to me or it happened to my sister or happened to my best friend or like, right, like we've all experienced the roller coaster ride of relationships, whether they be love relationships or family relationships or friendship relationships, right? So yeah, it wasn't far off that I had to go reach to go get those emotions.
okay, a few more questions from the Silver Canuck. Is Tamar really playing the piano?
Yes, she's amazing. But
Oh,
what I
wow.
loved about yesterday's episode is Clifton is a seasoned like singer and musician
Right.
and writer. Like he's written and he played that so
I
well that he didn't know how to. I was like, oh my
yeah,
God, he's doing like
yeah.
I
I said,
believed
okay,
it.
this
No, they are amazing, and honestly, the majority of our cast are all singers and entertainers.
yeah, whenever I saw that, I'm like, this is the man who wrote for the Jackson Five. And I saw an interview
Right,
where he was like, we lived well off of that one song. I said, can I just write? All I need is one
right, right,
song
right, right.
for
Exactly.
someone, and
Right.
yeah, yeah, I'll be good. Then we'll wrap this up. What should we expect in season? Well, we're in season one, but what should we expect in season two?
Honestly, I have no idea because I don't even know how the season one is going to round itself out. Um, and I'm at the point where I read about, the first dozen episodes, like front to back, excuse me, and then I stopped reading. I only pull out my scenes. So I really truly do not know what's happening on the show if I'm not watching.
Mhm.
So whenever they start talking in hair and makeup and like I know something's about to come up, I'm like, wait, what
Right.
happened?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think I think so many times people think that because you're on the show, you know everything. And it's like,
right,
no, you got a job, you have a life, you have a family.
right.
You're only learning your scene and then you're trying to get out of there
Right.
as fast as possible.
Right, right.
Right.
And even if I did, continue to read scripts front to back, until you actually still see it, right? It's still so different, right? Like to see how it got played out and the way they cut it, the way they edited. There's lots of stuff that we shoot that doesn't make it, right? Because either the show's too long or they decide to fill something else in. We've done a lot of like, oh, let's go back, we're adding a scene, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? I should have asked people questions before, but here we
It's
are. We're
fun.
just living.
It's fun. Just impromptu little. No, I mean, honestly, just keep supporting. Please keep showing up for us. We are working our butts off every single day to, produce a product that people enjoy and want to watch and want to tell their friends about. So yeah, if you could keep doing that, we are eternally grateful.
Awesome. Well, Daphne, thank you so much for hopping
Thank
on here.
you.
I will be watching in a few hours as I'm on the West Coast time. So CBS and Amazon, no, it's not 2 o'clock here yet. So I have to wait until 2 o'clock.
Right, right. Well, I have to
Um,
wait till 6 because I'm working. So I'm going to go grab something to eat real quick. I'm right back on set right after lunch. And I'm on Paramount Plus, so I have to wait till 6 o'clock. So you're going to be ahead of me.
well, again, thank you so much for hopping on here. And now I'm going to try to end the live and then keep the
And save it.
video so
Right,
then I can
exactly.
post it and then I'll tag you in it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.